Hello. Are we live? Excellent. It is 6 o'clock on a Monday, the second Monday of the month, June, what is it, 10th? 10th.
You say so.
Yep, 2024, and this is Patchwork Party. I'm Karen, and this is Sew and Save in Racine, Wisconsin. Welcome, everyone, to Patchwork Party. I'm glad you could join us tonight. People are starting to pop on one by one. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. Got lots and lots of things, of course, to show you tonight. A little bit of everything. Lots of stuff, and a nice little demo on doing a couple things. Lots of new things. Joe's scanning all around so you can kind of get a sneak peek. Of everything that's happening. Please be sure to like us and to share us, and when you do, your name will go into the Facebook picker, and hopefully at the end of the night it will pick your name to win a gift card from Sew and Save. So that's always fun.
Paul and Pat said hello.
Hey, Paul and Pat. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. I know you got lots of things that you could be doing, but it's a little chilly out and a little windy out tonight, so it's a good night just to stay in and watch Patchwork Party, because we've got lots of new things to show you tonight, and you're not going to want to miss it.
Lots of people saying hi.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, I'm just going to say that I'm Karen. This is Sew and Save from Racine, Wisconsin. Thank you all for joining us. This is Patchwork Party Live. We do this the second Monday of every month at 6 o'clock on Facebook. And if you miss us and you can't see us, it always automatically goes to YouTube, and you can always see it on YouTube as well. So we really appreciate your joining us. Don't forget to like us and to share us, so your name goes in again into the Facebook picker, and hopefully it will pick your name for a gift card. And also, don't forget that everything that I show you tonight is in the Patchwork Party section of our website, and PP20 will get you 20% off your sale of any of these fabulous things that I have to show you tonight. How we doing?
41 on.
Okay, that would probably be a good amount to start. To get started, we're going to start over here, because as most of you know, some of you know, hopefully everybody knows, that we are sort of in the middle, almost to the middle of our Wisconsin State Shop Hop. So we have our fabric out here. We've got lots of projects. Stop in and get your passport stamped this month. And if you finish the section, which we are section 8, if you finish our section, pass in your passport, and your name will go into win a prize. And everybody that stops by and gets their passport stamped, your name will go into win a $100 gift basket. That can't be bad. Lots of goodies in our little gift basket. So let me just kind of go over what we have for some of the projects. And when you step in, you can pick up a kit. If we ran out, we are happy to cut a kit for you. This year, the theme of the Wisconsin fabric is fish. Gotta love fish. There's fishing lures, there's fishing scales. The words are rivers in Wisconsin. So we have little fishing rods, there's fishing lures. Then we go down here and we have big fish, some more lures and words and things. So the fabric is really fun, and really has been pretty popular. People have been really liking it. So I hope you like it as well. These are some just blenders that we pulled that really go along nicely with it. This is a couple of table runners that we did. This is a good old-fashioned braid runner. These patterns are in the Patchwork Party section of our website. PP20 gets you 20% off. The pattern, we cannot discount any of the Shop Hop fabric. So nothing else to say about that. Yeah, if we do, they get very upset with us, and then they'll kick us out of the shop hop, and we don't want that. So none of the PP20 will not work on any of the shop hop fabrics, but if you're not in Wisconsin and you're far away and you'd like to make a Wisconsin project, you can order the fabric online, and we are happy to ship it to you. So we did 2 braid runners here, kind of a blue version and a green version. Then we did some really fun fish placemats, and we're going to talk about these today. I'm going to kind of demonstrate how to make those and a couple different variations of doing that. So our fish placemats, a bucket hat. Bucket hats seem to be all the rage these days. And let's see, we have 1 quilt up here, and this year people in section 8 are giving away a free pattern. So when you come in and you're part of the shop hop, we will give you this pattern for free. And if you like the project, we will be happy to cut a kit for you, and you can make that project as well. So that is one of the quilt projects that we have going along with our shop hop fabric. And then I don't know if, Joe, you can catch the back wall back there. We have 2 fence rail. Yeah. So we thought we would make a project that didn't say fish, because the fish isn't for everybody. So we used the words in the line of fabric, and we made 2 different variations of the fence rail quilt, and it's a 3-yard quilt pattern. So you only need 3 1-yard pieces, and it is from the book, and I'll put it right up here. It is from the book 3-Yard Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. So those are always fun patterns. I was just going to go like this. Some of you have this in stock. So some of you have been collecting these. So a lot of people have this pattern book already. And then all you need are 3 1-yard pieces to make your project. So those are fun, fast, easy projects to make out of the Wisconsin fabric. Okay, I think we're going to kind of come back around here. Last month we talked about this project, and this one I finally finished. So this is the table runner. If you remember, we talked about the Sunday brunch pattern, and it used the template like it's very similar to the template for the folded star patterns. We're actually out of it right now. We have more that are on their way, so they should be here tomorrow or the next day. But we've run out of the patterns for this. So when you buy the pattern will have the template to make 3 stars, so you can make a single star project and a double star project. And we have kits for both of these. And so there'll be instructions and the template in the pattern pack. So again, we have kits for both of these, and the kits do not include the pattern, because a lot of people have already bought their pattern and they've been waiting for me to get the kits done. So I had this one done, I think, last month, and then I was working on getting this one finished up. So they're really cute. Yeah, you can come take a close look. So on Wednesday, June 19th, at 10 a.m., we're going to do a class on how to make these. So you can make the single or the double, whichever you like. You can buy the kits, or you can use your own fabrics, and we will get together and work on making those up, and you should be able to get them done in one day. In the morning, we'll do the stars. This big. 18.5 by 46 is the size of the longer table runner. And you could keep this going and do 3 stars if you wanted to, because you'll have 3 templates for the stars in the pack. Okay, any other questions on that? I hope you can join us for the class. We're going to have a fun day, and you're going to get those made up, and they're really a lot of fun to do. There's a couple little tricks and tips that I'm going to give you along the way as you're making them, so that yours will turn out perfect. And so they'll be fun. It was a really fun project to do. Let's, as long as we're going kind of over here, let's just come over here. I'm going to walk in front of the camera to a great line from Riley Blake called American Beauty. So it's kind of red, white, and blue, and kind of patriotic, but not in your typical patriotic way. So there's not stars and a lot of stripes and things. They really kind of put a fun kind of updated spin on patriotic and red, white, and blue. So it's really fun. You can have it out almost all summer because it doesn't scream 4th of July. And it's a really, really pretty line and a lot of fun. I got the extra wide, so you can do it on the quilt back. And then there are also 2 panels. And this first panel is really big. So not sure how I can hold it up well. So this first panel, like this, hi! This first panel is actually a tea towel panel. So it has 4 towels on it. And really all you need to do, there's little lines on it so you could just cut them out, hem the sides and top and bottom, and you have little tea towels. Kind of patriotic in some ways. I played around with it a little bit, and I only brought 2 of them today because those are the only 2 I had finished. So this one was on here. This is the bottom one down here. Whoops, get back here. This one. And I took my octagon ruler and is this an octagon or hexagon? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, anyways, I made this out of this. So I just cut around it and I made a little table topper out of it because not everybody wants a bunch of tea towels. So I made a little table topper out of this one. I just stitched in the ditch around the little Dresdens, and then I did the thing where you pull the back of the fabric up and forward to bind all the way around this. So it was a lot of fun. You could cut it in a circle and cut a bias binding. I know you're cringing when I said bias binding, didn't you? You could make a bias binding and go around this. You could do the thing where you take it and put right sides together, sew it in a circle, leave an opening, and flip it. So lots of fun and different things that you could do with these besides just making tea towels out of them. This one we made a little banner. So this one was not over here. It's over here on the bottom. So all I did was add a border down the side of this with a little bit of fabric, put backing on, binding, and now I have a little wall hanging. So I can hang it in the door, I can hang it in the window, up on the wall. Really cute. And the other 2 I'm working on, I'm making pillows out of them. So I kind of cut them down, added some borders, and did some fun things. And I can show those to you next month. But you can think outside the box on these. You can do whatever kinds of things you want. You don't have to do towels. But the towels are fun. And there's just a couple ideas of different things that you can do with this panel. Then there's another panel in here, and it is just a big, fun flag. So you could just finish this off, do a little stitch in the ditch. You could put a border around it, not put a border around it, make it a flag, or you could make it into a quilt, and off you go. Pretty fun and simple for the summer. You don't have to do a lot of work on these. They kind of quilt up themselves. So really simple stitch in the ditch here, and you're good to go. You don't even have to send it to the quilter to have a nice project that's ready to go. So all of these are in the Patchwork Party section of our website. PP20 gets you 20% off of all of these.
What are they called again?
American Beauty.
American Beauty.
American Beauty. And then we also have a placemat of the month this month. And this is our June placemat. So kind of fresh fruit and strawberries. Life is sweet. So the little kit makes 6 placemats with different backings on. I think there's 2 different backings in here. 3 different backings. So and bindings to make these really fun placemats. So they make great gifts, fun on your picnic table this summer, and just really sweet and cute. Really quick and easy to do. Lots of fun, fast, easy projects. So I can put that right there. Okay, any questions on those? Excellent. Okay, now we're going to, let's come over here. We have been waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally we have our Sew and Save bags. Many of you ordered them and have been patiently waiting, and we appreciate your patience in waiting for our Sew and Save bags to come back in. And you know that if you have had a Sew and Save bag for quite some time, you know that sometimes we have little special sales or events, and if you have a Sew and Save bag, then you get to participate and be part of it. So these are, I didn't put them in the Patchwork Party section of the website, so we might want to do that just to make it easy for people to get. There's no further discount on these, so but you can purchase a bag. They're really nice canvas bags, really heavy duty. It has a nice long adjustable strap. It has our nice name and our new logo on it. And just to remind you, if you didn't know or didn't remember, we are celebrating 40 years and being in business, 40 this year, 40 years of quilting happiness. And so I hope you're going to be with us for the next 40 years. Not sure how many of those years I will still be here, but I need to be here for all of the next 40, as I hope you are as well. So it has a little water bottle holder, a little pen holder, and then it has a nice outside pocket with little pockets for credit cards and things. So a lot of times the ladies will bring them when we go to quilt shows and things, so they can fill them up. So if you have one of these bags, watch your emails, because something special is going to be happening very, very soon, because people have been waiting for so long and have waited and waited for us to have another bag day thing happening. So pretty soon, watch your emails. That's not going to stand up. So we'll just set that down. So if you don't have a bag, you can purchase a bag, and then you can be part of our bag day events when we have them. Okay, I know, sweet. I'm so happy we've been looking. Never mind. We've been looking for those for a long time. So we had a little bit of a problem with the vendor and getting them. Yes, we're going to skip over to, I'm not going to say Christmas, because this is really, I think, a winter line. It is called Starberry, and it's from Corey Yoder and Moda. And generally speaking, we have, our back room is filling up every day with more and more fall, Halloween, and Christmas fabrics. And June 26th and 27th will be our holiday preview party and trunk show. So I hope that you can join us for that. The 26th is a Wednesday, and it's from 1 to 3, and the 27th is from 10 to noon. And I hope you can join us. We'll have all of our fall and Halloween things that we have so far, and Christmas things out. And a lot of times things sell out at the holiday preview party, and you may never see them unless you come. So I hope you can come and join us for that. But Starberry, we put out now because so many people have been asking about it. Yes, Joe, you can come in close on this. It's not, like I said, not really Christmas. It's more of a winter type of fabric. There is kind of like holly kind of sprigs and things on it. But the florals are really, really pretty. There's some dots. There's some little stars and things that really are not holiday. But I pulled them out because I know that Corey Yoder, if you follow her on Facebook, she is going to be doing a quilt along, and she's showing patterns. And I know she does a free pattern, I think weekly. I think she has a free pattern a lot. So people have been asking for this. So I put it out so you can get it and participate. But a couple things that we're doing with this is I made the little lamb. I think the lamb has been really super popular. At first, I did him because I was going to do it as a tote bag. And then I think I changed my mind. I think he might be a pillow. Or maybe he's going to be a small wall hanging. I just like him. So I made him. Anyways, we have a pattern. It's called the Woolly Wall Hanging. So we're going to make him. We have kits for him being made at this time. And that, these kits are on the Patchwork Party section of our website, as well as the Starberry fabrics. So PP20 will get you 20% off of those tonight. So we have the patterns of the kits. We have jelly rolls. So if you want a pretty jelly roll of these, there's jelly rolls for these as well. And then we have over there, dun, 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 he is so cool. I love him the most. So there's a debate going on as to whether he's a deer, a moose, or a reindeer. So everybody has their own idea of what he should be. The pattern is called Oh Dear, I think it is, or Dearly Loved, Deerly, Dearly Loved. So I guess he's supposed to be a deer, but I kind of like to think of him as a reindeer, but you can think of him as anything you want. So we have kits for these. They are on the website. I know some people, while I was making him, saw him and have signed up for kits. So you will be contacted this week if you have already signed up for a kit. Otherwise, you can go online, purchase your kit, and he is just adorable. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorites. Absolutely one of my favorites.
Somebody asked for the new sewer. What is a jelly roll?
Oh, a jelly roll is this little cute thing. These are 2.5 by the width of fabric strips. So it's 2.5 by about 42 inches. And it's generally 2 of everything in the line. So there might be 2 strips of these, 2 strips of these. It depends on how many fabrics are in the line. But there are, in this one, there are, it doesn't say, there are generally 40 strips in a line. And there are patterns that are written specifically for jelly rolls. So they're fun to collect. A lot of times we collect them because we just like them. We don't necessarily know what we're going to do with them. And so they sit on our shelves and we come and we pet them many times. So I have been thinking again this fall we need to have, sometimes I will have a mystery class and we'll have a mystery jelly roll class, or we'll have a mystery layer cake class. So we'll have a couple of those this fall. So it gives people an opportunity to kind of pull these out and use them. So that's a jelly roll. They're not always called jelly roll. This is kind of a name that Moda has given these, and they're kind of like Kleenex and bathroom tissue, that kind of thing. So not all 2.5-inch packs are called jelly rolls. Depends. They have, some people call them roly-poly. Everybody has their own names. But 2.5 by width of fabric strips. So lots of fun to work with. Yeah, they are very cool. So that's our little story on what's happening with the Starberry fabric. It's one of my favorites, so I hope you like it as well. So they're available for purchase now. PP20 gets you 20% off of all of those. This is a new pack of fabric that we just got. There are 12 fat quarters in here, and they're from the Frank Lloyd Wright Commission. Oops, I'm sorry. Jill's like, stop moving. Stop. There's 12 fat quarters in here. Did I say fat quarters? Okay, 12 fat quarters in here. I kind of like the idea of the Frank Lloyd Wright connection with Racine, and these are, this company has worked with, I said, the Frank Lloyd Wright Commission, and these are, everything that they're doing are actual designs and the actual colors that he used. So they're not like trying to take them and making a replica or whatever. These are actually from his designs. So they have, I guess, books and books and books and tablets of things that he's drawn out and has colored in and things. So a lot of people have been asking for the yardage for this. Yes, they sent us, there's 12 fat quarters in here. The yardage is on its way. There may be some missing because they had a problem with production and quality, and so some of them they rejected. So they're sending us everything that they have, and then they'll send us the new ones when they're reprinted and they're done appropriately, because they're really very fussy about making sure that the colors and everything are true to his coloration. So so watch for that. We'll let you know when that comes in, because I know a lot of people have been waiting for that. So these are a great pack. So this will get you started. Oops, he's going to zoom in on that. There we go. I can put it right there. Yeah, can you see it with the plastic on? It's a little bit hard with the plastic on. But you can kind of, like, these are just fabulous.
Those are really cool.
They are very cool. And there's more of those coming along as well. And, like, all of these are, like, from his drawings and sketches and things. So really very cool. Very, very cool. A while ago, we had little lint picker-uppers that were kind of a black sponge. People have been asking for us to get those back in because they work really well, and they wanted to give them to people and friends and things. But that company is no longer making them, or they're no longer in business. They're gone. I know. You get a good thing and they're gone. And then I was actually cleaning out my sewing room. I cleaned out a drawer, which took a long time. But I cleaned out a drawer, and then I remembered that I had one of these little thread picker things. And we had these before, and they are just as good, they have been just as popular. The one side has kind of that spongy, kind of rough edge to it, and then the other has kind of a sticky edge as well. So really good for picking up threads and things. Also really good for cleaning off your wool mats. When things, I noticed that Bailey, she likes to lay on my wool mat and look out the window at the birds and the chipmunks and things. So I kind of like use this to clean off my wool mat to get the cat hair off of it before I start ironing something. So these are a great thing to have on hand. Throw them even in your car or whatever, as a good lint collector. So, oops, that's my little notion of the month, so to speak.
Are they going to make the Frank Lloyd Wright in other pre-cuts or just the fat quarters?
Good question. I don't remember.
Probably want to repeat the questions.
I can. Someone was asking if they had other types of pre-cuts in the Frank Lloyd Wright fabrics, and I have to say I don't remember, but I can reach out to them and ask them that. They had the fat quarter packs, but I don't remember any other ones, but I could be wrong. So I will check with them and see if they have other ones. If we get enough, sometimes we'll cut our own pre-cuts for you and put together some pre-cut packs as well. So I just have to see how many of the fabrics come in, and we can maybe make some more pre-cut packs.
Pat Frederick said, "Good job to the camera person."
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you. Yes, he's our producer. Yes, our director and producer.
So I call out all comments.
He calls out things. Yeah, he calls out the comments that have to do with him. We were working on these the last couple times. We've had the templates and the star placemats and hot pads and things. And this was my last one to get done, because I've had about 3 or 4 of them that I've done, and they're hanging up in the store, and there's kits for some of them. And they're very cool. This one I took and I did embroidery in the center. You don't want to get too close, but embroidery in the center. And this one was a little bit of a problem child from the beginning, because I brought it home, and I think I had demonstrated how to put the little prairie points going around, and I glued them down. And when I brought them home, I dropped it, and half of the prairie points fell off. So then I kind of put them all back on, and I brought them to the store because I was going to work on it at a sleep in your own bed retreat, and I never got to it. And then I picked it up, and I dropped it again, and all the prairie points fell off. So then I took it home, and I said, okay, this is it. I'm going to finish this. I'm doing it today. I'm not going to move it. I'm just going to do it. So I made it up. It turned out really cute, and it was sitting on my sewing table, and Gizmo, bless his little pea-picking heart, came along and threw up on it, as cats do. Right in the middle of the freedom. So this was kind of doomed from the beginning. So then I thought, so everybody says, you know what takes out stains is that power wash stuff from Dawn. So we got that. So we have that. Of course we have that. So I sprayed it with power wash, and I washed it, kind of cleaned it all off and rinsed it all out. And it all the stains came out, and so I just thought, I'm just going to lay it here and let it dry. I came back like an hour later, and the red ink, or not the red ink, but the red thread, the color from the red thread had bled into the white of the fabric. I'm like, oh my God, now what am I going to do? So I'm like, I put all this work into this, and I was like determined. So the girl said, why don't you try retro clean and see if that works? And I think I've showed this to you before, and I should have, and they said, don't forget to take a before picture. Did I remember to take a before picture? No. So this was like all red in here. At any rate, so I filled up my little spare sink with some water and some retro clean, and I soaked it for probably overnight, and it took out most of the red. I mean, there's very little red left. And I think the red that's in there is not actually on the fabric. I think the red went into the batting, and it's stuck in the batting. But it's a lot better than it was before. So I highly recommend this because it really, really worked well. Retro clean. So have it in your stash. I'm happy to have it now just in case we have something that, happens because we have pets.
When colors bleed and stuff.
It's where when colors bleed, or you have stains, or maybe you have an old antique quilt that has yellowed, and you just it's just something that you want to gently clean. I would be careful. Power wash, yes, power wash works, but maybe it works too. It takes out everything, including the colors of your fabrics sometimes. So you kind of have to be careful with that. But the retro clean is great. It's not going to harm your fabric. It's made for gently cleaning things, and it did gently clean this off to the point where I can actually probably use it. So, yeah, it looks a lot better than it did all red, or before it became all red. After Gizmo got to it, then it didn't look too good either. Okay, let's go back. I'm going to do a little demo, and then we'll talk about a couple more things. Like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about doing the placemats. These placemats are so much fun. They're super fast. They're super easy to do.
You think we could get rid of this?
Yeah, we can move that. We're done with that. Put that down, put this down, and put this down. And this thing always falls off. Okay, so we'll get that out of the way. There we go. Hello. What we use for the placemats are these Craft Text placemat forms. They're pretty stiff. They are fusible on both sides. They're made from Bozo. And there's also a pattern that goes along with it to make a super, super simple and easy placemat. So these are in the Patchwork Party section of our website, and you can pick those up. And I've made a couple of these. I've made more than a couple. So I started out with, I had to do something with this bug fabric from Tim Holtz. This is part of his laboratory line. I know people are like, oh, bugs. But what more fun place to put bugs than on your placemat? Joe loves it. I think the guys will love it. So this is from his new line, and so is the back. The back is also part of his new line called Laboratory. And this you will see more of at our holiday preview party because it is kind of a Halloweenish line. Yeah. So this is the placemat pattern that they suggest. It's 2 pieces of fabric. It's actually 4 pieces of fabric. It has a little pocket for your silverware and napkins and things. You can either leave this on or take it off. Some people don't like the pocket, so I would just put it, if you don't like the pocket, put it on for the contrast and then just top stitch here so that it's not open and you'll be good.
You put silverware in there though, right?
Yeah, you put silverware in there or a napkin.
Okay.
Yeah, so really fun. I, of course, did not follow the directions.
Or would you?
I know that you're shocked by that. I know that you're shocked. Huh?
Are they washable?
Yes. And these come out, they're great. I mean, you can wash them, I can't tell you how many times, because once you fuse it, it's permanently fused.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't come apart. They really last a really long time. They stay stuck. Yeah, because I don't have any quilting on this at all. So the instructions, let me tell you how, I did this and they do it and they want you to turn it right, they put two right sides together and then they have you turn it and that kind of thing. I didn't do that. I wanted to add a binding. So I made my front and my back is just plain. I fused those two on, trimmed it around, and put a binding. Okay, and I'll talk about binding this in a second. So the binding I think adds a little bit more pizzazz to it. Their instructions, however, it ends up looking like this. And I know, this is some of our holiday fabric.
Oh, that looks nice too.
Isn't that cute? It has the little red pocket, instead of using two colors, I used another color and made my pocket a different color than the first two. And this is my back. So let me tell you how to do this, because it's a little bit different than what you would think. You would think if you were going to put right sides together, you would stitch all the way around and leave a hole up on the top and flip it. Mm-hmm. Are you with me? That's not how they do this, interestingly enough. So what they have you do, they have you make your front with your pocket. They have you take your back, fuse the back onto the back of the placemat. Then you're going to take your finished front, lay it right sides together with the back. Are you with me?
Yep.
Makes sense so far. You can binder clip it, you can pin it, whatever. Then you're going to flip it over and you're going to stitch super close. Here, you're going to do this. You're going to stitch super close to the edge of all of this going all the way around. Okay? All the way around. You're not leaving a hole. Then you're going to trim close. And then you have the right side. You have this fabric is going to be on the back. And what they have you do is open up this seam about 6 inches. Then they have you turn the whole thing right side out. So when you do that, this will come back around the front. Your back will be still stuck to the back. This, you're going to kind of get everything all nicely flattened out. And then you can kind of press this down. And you can kind of press this and kind of just make this all nice and straight again. It wasn't as hard as it kind of seems. Turning it is always kind of, and you're turning it through a 6-inch opening. So that was, it worked out better than I thought it was gonna. So this all comes back around and you get it all pressed out nice and you get this pressed back down and then you stitch close to the edge here, which will close up your hole. And then you stitch close all the way around here, which finishes off your edge. So I don't know, what do you think about that? Compared to what I did is I fused the back on, made my front, fused that on. And then I know you're thinking that you have to do a bias binding on this because you have curved edges. So I know you're thinking, yeah, no, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that. So that kind of makes you go, I'm out. But you do not have to do a bias binding on this. So my binding on this and my binding on this one is straight. It is not cut on the bias. And this is actually a 2 1/4 inch binding. And all I do is flip this over and look at how nice it just rolls over to the front of your curves. Even though it's not cut on the bias, it curves over that nicely. So no bias binding. So that makes it even easier. So on this particular one, I sewed my binding onto the front and then I pulled it to the back and then I stitched in the ditch to catch my binding on the back, which turned out pretty good. I missed it here a little bit. It's not quite perfectly even, but it's pretty good. Or you can hand stitch it, but it's a little hard to hand stitch the binding into this hard bosal stuff. So kind of machine sewing your binding on is a better way to go. This one, I'm using a little bit different method. I sewed it onto the back, and then I'm going to pull it to the front and stitch it on in the front. And let me show you how that works a little bit. We're going to kind of pop off of this, and we're going to kind of talk about these little bags that are up front. Okay. These little bags are called drop zone. I call them everything else but drop zone. I call them drop dead, dead zone, but I have to think. Okay, but they're called drop zone. The pattern is in the Patchwork Party section of our website. The patterns are on their way, so don't come in tomorrow and expect to pick up the pattern. Their patterns are on their way here. So one pattern makes all three of these different size bags, and they're super simple. If you've made the clam up bags, you can do these bags. And these bags are really fun because, first of all, they're a really kind of cool shape. Love the little shape of them. They have a nice big zipper, and then when you open them up, they sit flat. They open up and sit flat, each and every one. So they open up and look at how flat they lay. So you can put lots of stuff in there and then still see what you've got when you open up your bag. You don't have to slip through. The other thing that I like about this bag, and I think you're going to like it too, because one of the things that people don't like so much about By Annie is that everything gets this binding on it. And a lot of times it's hard to bind things. So unlike the clam up bags had this little section in here. They call it a side panel. Had this little side panel in that was a little bit tricky to sew in. And they've changed it up so that the side panel comes on here, but this side panel also comes along your last seam here, comes over it, and ends up being kind of a self-binding thing. So you don't have to add a binding to this edge. This comes up and over, you do a little stitching here, you stitch up your sides, and that finishes off the side of your bag. Super duper simple, and it looks really nice and holds the bag open.
People are saying those are cool.
They are very cool. All three sizes, they fit right inside one another, and you can close them up. Yeah, there's a very cute. So these bags, of course, I made the way the instructions said, but the big one, I decided I wanted to add this binding on here. And the pattern actually has like little pull tabs on the side with little things that you could put a little hook on so you could hook it onto something. I did not add those. But it's nice if you add just that little tab. You don't have to add a D-ring or anything because it gives you a little something more to hold on to. Like to open this, I find that I don't have much to hold on to open it. So add the little tab on the end. But I decided that just for fun, because I can, I wanted to add a little binding on the edge of this one.
I see.
So I did my binding on this the same way I'm doing my binding on this placemat. So I sewed my binding on the back, which is kind of how By Annie has you do things. Sews your binding onto the back, and then I'm moving it to the front. And when I press this, I am lining the edge, the fold of my binding along the stitching line on my placemat. So this is the back where I had stitched that on. So I'm pretty careful about making sure that this lines up with the stitching on my placemat. If you don't feel comfortable doing that or confident, use your By Annie double-sided tape and tape along here, lay this down, and then give it a good press. That will hold it in place as well until you sew it. So on here, so this is a little example of my my bag, and this is I sewed this along the back. I sewed this on the back. I'm pulling it along the front, and I line it up right here, and then I stitch from the front. I stitch really close to that front, or to this fold here. And when I do that, because I've lined this up right along this stitching line, when I go flip it over, look at how nice it looks on the back.
Oh, it's great.
It looks great. It took a little practice. This is not something that you're going to get down the first time. You might rip it a few times. I probably, when I first started, ripped this kind of thing out like 3 times before I got it to the point that I was happy with. This line of stitching, I increased my stitch length to a 3.5. And I slow my machine down, and I let my machine pull the fabric through. Don't push, don't pull. The machine just guides the fabric through. Okay, so that's how I do that, and it takes a little practice till you can do it, but you can do it if you keep practicing. So that's how I'm going to finish off this placemat. I'm going to press all of this and stitch close to this edge, and because I lined it up with this stitching line, when I stitch over here, it will stitch onto the binding in the back and not hopefully go onto my placemat. So the secret is making sure you have this lined up nicely and pressed in the front. Okay? So I did that, and then applying my zipper is a little bit different, and I feel like, is it easier? This is not difficult, neither is this. When you put your zipper on this, you're going to put right sides together, stitch, flip your zipper over, and then top stitch here. So it's not too difficult to do this. To do this is just as easy. So I have my little edge all bound. I'm going to take it and line it up right along the teeth of my zipper. So you can see where I just lined this up straight right along the teeth of my zipper. So you don't have to worry that you have one farther away than the other, because this is going to line up right by the teeth. And so I just come at that point and stitch kind of down the center of my binding. Cool. And that just sews it right on. Ta-da! You want to kind of, to make it look really nice, you want to change your bobbin thread so it's the color of your zipper, and have your top thread the color of your binding, or a lot of times I'll use just a invisible thread. So I used invisible thread on all of these to quilt them. So you don't see that at all. So you can see, like on this one at the beginning, I forgot to check and make sure I changed my bobbin, and it doesn't look as nice as this side does, because the threads are a different color. So, I'm so glad you asked that. Okay, because I did a little bit different thing when I did this. By Annie has a product called Soft and Stable, and we've all used it. We use them in our bags. It's a foam product. It's like this. This is a product made by Bozel, and we use this if you've made an Auntie's 2 bag. You will have used this. I used this in these bags. This is called In Our Form, F-O-R-M. So it's IN-R-Form, F-O-R-M. And it comes, by Annie's product comes in bags, and this comes by the yard. And it's 56 inches wide, so it's really wide. Doesn't take much to do a bag. I used scraps of this from another bag that I had made. The reason I liked this is because it's a little bit thinner than the Soft and Stable. Because you don't need this to be super thick, but you want it to be firm, and you want it to hold its shape. And the other reason I like this, because the first thing that by Annie is going to have you do is cut different size squares and rectangles like this was 13 by 16, and this was 11 by 11, and this was, I don't know, 11 by 13 or something. So you're going to cut those rectangles. You're going to then take your main fabric, your lining fabric, and your soft and stable, put them together and quilt them. So that's going to be your first step. So I liked this because this is fusible. Oh, I know. So I know. Because what are you going to do? You're either going to do some pinning, you're going to spray it, you're going to use bone ash, you're going to use whatever to fuse your 3 pieces together so that you can nicely quilt this without everything moving around. So this was great because I just took my squares, rectangles, whatever, same size of my main fabric, my foam stuff, and this, and you press, of course that went off, and you press this, and it's all fused together. It's probably not going to start to fuse for a second. My iron cooled off. And it all fuses together so that you can, at that point, draw lines or do whatever type of quilting that you want to do on this. Mostly this, I just take my ruler. Come on. Heat up. It's not very hot. I'll just stand here and hold this and talk at the same time. So I just take a ruler. I drew some lines and made some little diamonds on my fabric. And like I said, I used invisible thread on the top and then matching thread in my bobbin and quilted it up. It didn't take long to do that at all. It's going to start to, but this is going to stick together so that you're ready to stitch this and go for it. So that's why I liked this a lot better. This was like, I was like, oh, this is great. I'm glad I got lots of scraps. A lot easier to do. And it's not quite as thick as the other soft and stable is. So you can see how this is sticking. It didn't take me long to make it stick at all once my iron started to get hot. So it's all sticking together, ready to quilt, and it doesn't move around while you're quilting. Super fast and easy. So you can buy this by the yard. Doesn't take much, I think. If you bought a half a yard, you'd be able to probably make 2 or 3 of each of these bags all the way through. It'll make a lot of bags. So that's my trick on that. But I really liked this. I thought, oh, this is great. Great stuff. And it's still firm. Sometimes you don't need it to be super thick. Any questions on this? This is the Drop Zone bag. New Drop Zone bag. Lots of fun to make. And of course, I used the Starberry fabric from Corey Yoder to make these.
People are saying they like it.
I like it a lot. They're so cute. Yep, be sure to like us, to share us, so that your name goes in for a drawing tonight. Okay, so I showed you that, I showed you that, I showed you that. In conjunction with kind of our making bags and zippers and things, Sally Tomato, which we're going to hopefully start adding more Sally Tomato things to our already by Annie section, so we have lots of bags. But she has these really fun zippers, and her zippers kind of look, I like them because I'm doing a bag, an embroidery bag, which I'll show you next month, and I'm doing it in black denim and some Tim Holtz fabric. So I kind of want this kind of funky look to my zipper as opposed to just like a regular zipper. She has all of these really fun zipper packs that come with all different kinds of zippers and all different colors and styles, and they are really super fun to do. So you can get a pack and have a variety of different zippers to do a bunch of things. There's 1 yard of each zipper in here and 3 different zipper pulls in there. And this particular one, which I was looking at, and this one has some really fun pulls in it. This one has like a little sewing machine in here. Oh, okay. Has a little zipper pull with a sewing machine already built onto it. Another one has a key. Another one is kind of plain, but fun, still fun. So they're not always just plain old zipper pulls. They have some really cool things that are parts of their zipper pulls in here. So really makes it a lot of fun to do. So this one that has the funky things there are called Vintage Modern. So each one has kind of a different name. We will keep these in stock, hopefully, and have them in here. So it's nice to have a variety of different zippers on hand when you're doing little bags. So that is that. It's in the Patchwork Party section of our website. PP20 gets you 20% off. What a deal. So much fun. We have two little projects for kids, and these are called Our Greatest Gift. And this little quilt is, I lost my little tag, which I know is on here. This project is 54 by 62, so it's just really cute with the little baby animals and they're just really a really cute, fun, fast project to do. And then the little, what do you call these? Whatever they call these things. Growth chart. This growth chart kind of coordinates with it, so it makes a really great gift. So really, really fun. It has a cute little story on it, and just really fun, fast, easy to do.
Why do they call it growth chart?
Growth chart because it has the months up or weeks, months, years, and then you put the baby on over here, and the rainbow will go over the child's head, and you take a picture of it, and then you put something to kind of circle the date of
cool.
where they're at. It's very cool. And it has a really cute things. It says, "As I lay you down to sleep, I pray my little one to guard and keep." So it has a really nice little saying with it, and it's just really cute. What a great little gift. Super simple, front, back binding, done! And they have a cute, even little play mat to play with. Okay, anything else? Am I missing something?
Nope.
How are we doing? Okay, so a couple things coming up. Our Skinny Bolt sale. Don't forget, Skinny Bolt sale is Monday, June 24th at 6 o'clock live on Facebook. We're ready. We have so many great fabrics sitting back there ready. They're just smoking hot. They're going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Don't forget our holiday trunk show coming up. And don't forget, I was going to tell you, this fabric here that I'm working on making a placemat out of is some of the new Tilda fabric called, I know, Tilda is in the house. The fabric is here. There's lots of it. It's 4 seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter. And we are not allowed to put it out until June 15th, so a week from this Saturday. Saturday, the fabric will be out and ready to buy, so you can pick it up then. But we also have a beautiful trunk show coming from Tilda herself, and that is going to be on Wednesday, July 10th from 1 to 3, or Thursday, July 11th from 10 to 12. So,
Repeat that again.
so the Tilda trunk show, and I'm showing this because this is a little bit different than some of the Tilda things that we've seen. It's kind of a homespunny fabric. The fabric is printed, it's woven, so it's the same on the front and the back. So really, we're going to be doing a lot of fun projects with this. So it's a lot different than some of the other Tildas that we've had. So if you've been kind of on the fence about Tilda, come and see it. It's new, it's fresh, it's really a lot of fun. So Tilda Trunk Show is Wednesday, July 10th from 1 to 3, or Thursday, July 11th from 10 to noon. So you can sign up right on our website for all of the things that I'm telling you about. Don't forget our Sunday brunch class is Wednesday, June 19th. And the girls were saying that since it's called Sunday brunch, that instead of having lunch, we're going to have brunch. So I have some kind of brunch, something happening in my head to bring. So we will have brunch instead of lunch on that day as we're making our little project. So I hope you can join us for that because it's going to be a lot of fun. Don't forget, a week from today, June 17th, is So What Club. And that happens at 10 o'clock in the store. And there'll be lots of new things other than this. I've got all kinds of new things happening. And we will show you those next Monday along with our block of the month. So I hope you can join us for that. And then don't forget to get out your Sew and Save bags, polish them up, and watch your emails because something special is going to be happening very soon with those bags. Anything else? Any questions? Any thoughts? Anything you need to know?
People are saying great job, and the new ideas are awesome.
I hope you can come and join us. We've got lots of fun things happening this summer. I know it's going to start to get hot outside, so you're going to want to come out of the garden and come into Sew and Save where we have it air conditioned and lots of fun things happening. So thank you so much for joining us for Patchwork Party, June 2024, and we hope to see you soon. Say bye to Sherry. Bye. And thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope you had fun. See you soon. Bye.